All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael, and today I'm going to be talking about the book Think and Grow Rich and the impact that this has had on my life. So a lot of people don't know this about me, but when I started my first business, I was 19 at the time, and I was working pretty relentlessly on this business. I was actually working for like 8 months straight without getting paid because, I had the vision for it. And, during this time, I did experience a lot of temporary failures and temporary defeats. And so, like most businesses, like it wasn't as easy as I thought it would. And at the time, I was at a really low point in my life because things just didn't go to plan. I wasn't as successful as I thought I would be. And, it was at this moment in my life I realized that I really have to start working more on my mindset if I want to become wealthy like I say that I'm going to become. So, the summer going into my sophomore year of college, I started getting into all these books. And then I think I was a sophomore in school where I came across this book called Think and Grow Rich. And it really was just a magnificent book. It had a big impact on my life. And I didn't truly understand it the first time that I read it. Right. So throughout school, I kept this book with me and just kept rereading it, studying it. And to this day, I still reread it and study it. So I just wanted to come on here and share, some of the ideas in this book that impacted my life, and to share it with you so that you can understand like how I truly think, because I think this book is a great framework for it. So, to get started, I'm gonna talk today about the chapter of desire. Right, this is the second chapter in the book, and it's the first step towards getting rich. And the idea here is, one thing that Napoleon Hill, like a little backstory about the book, is that he studied 500 of the world's most successful individuals at the time, right? It started with Andrew Carnegie, and he helped Napoleon Hill network and connect with these people, figure out like how did they get to where they were, and he boiled down all of what they told him down to 13 principles of success. And the first principle of success is the idea of you have to have a burning desire for getting rich, right? One thing that Napoleon Hill found out about all the rich people and the successful people is that they knew what they wanted, right? The thing is, most people in this world, they don't know what it is that they want. They'll go to, they'll go through school, they'll go through college, they'll get a job, and they'll just drift. Because you can ask them like, okay, why are you going to work every day? And they'll just tell you, well, everyone else is going to work every day, so that's why I'm doing it, right? And don't get me wrong, it's not bad to have a job, but I know for like the people following me that a job is not the end goal, right? So like, I know it's not your plan to just drift through life and just keep the job, right? So the one thing that I learned from this book is the idea of setting huge goals for yourself, because that is how you start to grow and get out of this position that I am in. Okay, so that's the first main idea. And I'm going to just share with you one thing I learned about setting goals, right? So one thing that I've studied from a lot of successful people that I had the pleasure of meeting is that they write down their goals every single day. So for me personally, when it comes to my morning routine, right, I wake up and I pull out my journal and I just write down my goals. And I have like these huge goals. I'll do a deeper dive into how to set goals for yourself. But just understand, like every single morning, I'm writing down my goals, right? How much do I want to be earning a month? Because, without goals, you're just going to get complacent being where you want to be or being where you're at right now. So that's the idea right there. And I'm telling you, this is universal, right? All of the successful people that I looked up to, that I've been able to be mentored by, right? They write their goals down every single day. And it's the repetition of writing it down that we'll get into later that's going to end up making you actually believe it's possible. And it's not until you believe it's possible that you get it done. Okay, so that's the idea there of setting goals every day. I do have some flashcards because I need some help with this. And then the next idea in this chapter is the idea of developing a money consciousness. All right, so what is a money consciousness? He says that a money consciousness means that your mind has become so thoroughly saturated with the desire for money that you can already see yourself in possession of the money, right? So, like, why am I able to come on here today and be talking about how rich we're gonna get? It's because, it may not be here in the physical world, but in my imagination, I can already see and feel myself earning the income, right? I know it's coming to me, and that's the only reason that I'm able to speak about this so confidently, because I know that every great idea first started in the mind and then it came into the physical world, right? So you have to start really believing and seeing yourself already earning the money that you desire, right? That's the main thing, and it's going to come on through this book, right? Developing a money consciousness, right? One good thing that I learned, right, when you get started in business and sales and the idea of going for your dreams, right, it'll change everything, right? Most people will never get started, and so they won't develop this money consciousness. But I'm telling you, once you go through like your first business venture, and let's say it goes well or it doesn't, you're gonna start thinking like about money now. You're gonna start thinking about other ways to earn income, right? It wasn't until I hit my biggest failure in life, where my first business just failed, that I started, developing this money consciousness of ways to make additional incomes. And that's where I started networking, and all these good things started coming into my life. So that's the idea of money consciousness. Now, another idea that I'm going to share from the book is this quote right here. And I'm going to break it down for you, right? He says that wishing will not bring you riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, and then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence, which does not recognize failure, will bring riches. Okay? Right? I know a lot of people, I got a lot of good friends that I've been friends with for a long time that claim they're going to be a billionaire, right? They think that they're going to get rich just magically. And I look at them, I'm like, okay, so what's your plan? And they don't have a plan, right? They're working a job, and it's not bad, but I'm just saying, like, okay, you're not going to become a billionaire unless you have a plan, right? He says that you have to also become obsessed, right? A lot of people will talk about the idea of, being obsessed as a bad thing, but when you're obsessed with the idea of your dreams, of what you really want, right, that's when it's a good thing, right? I am obsessed with the idea of earning a significant amount of money, and I treat that like a good thing. It consumes my thoughts, and it helps me actually grow and do things that I wouldn't be doing because I'd be in this stupid comfort zone. But that's the thing about it, right? So you got to become so obsessed with your dreams that it just consumes your consciousness. And then you got to plan definite ways and means to acquire those riches, right? You can't just say that you're going to get rich without having a plan, right? There's no successful person out there that didn't have a plan and didn't follow it. And he also says that you have to back those plans with persistence, which does not recognize failure, right? So, here's the thing, right? When you get started on going for your dreams, right, your plan may not be great. It may actually suck, but at least you have a plan. And so you follow that plan and you execute it. And then let's say the plan didn't go as you expected it to, right? You adjust the plan, but you keep following it. It's the backing it up with persistence, which does not recognize failure, right? For me, when I got started, I've been knocked down time and time again. And I realized, okay, maybe my plan was wrong. And so I had to get back up and make a new plan and follow it, right? I'll tell you this. When I was planning on, expecting to get rich, I started out with the painting business, right? That failed. I ended up doing power washing, right? It was a good plan, not great. And ended up selling life insurance. That didn't work out. I ended up cold calling. I was making $50 a day, but I was working a job as an employee. That didn't work out. Now I'm trying to make money online. I'm doing a lot of e-commerce stuff. And so that's where I'm at today, right? I'm working on selling things online and just sharing with you the idea that you have to back this plan up with persistence, which does not recognize failure. All right. So next is the idea of actually believing that you can have what you want, right? He says that if you truly desire money, so keenly that your desire is an obsession, you will have no difficulty in convincing yourself that you will acquire it. All right, the object is to want money and to become so determined to have it that you convince yourself you will have it. Okay, the only reason that I'm able to stand here today and explain how even though I'm not rich right now, but in my mind, I've actually been able to convince myself that I'm going to get rich, and I start taking action on it. Right? That's the idea. That if you truly desire money so keenly that you actually become obsessed with it, that your desire is an obsession, you will have no difficulty in convincing yourself that you will acquire it. Right? You're not going to end up taking action on something you don't truly believe in. Right? It's all about the belief, and that's something I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, like how to develop faith and how to actually believe that it is possible. Right? There's a scientific formula for that, and so I'm going to be diving into that as well. But the idea here is, become so obsessed with what you want that you end up believing it. Right? It wasn't easy for me at first. When I got started, it was like, no, there's no way that it's possible for me to become a millionaire. And then I keep playing with these ideas, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, I'm believing it a little bit more at a time. So, that is that. All right, the last idea that I'm going to share from this chapter, right? Napoleon Hill says that there is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. All right? No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief, and closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. All right? This is huge, right? There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Right? You're never going to be ready for your dreams until you actually believe it's possible. Until you actually believe that you can have what you want. Right? The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. And open-mindedness is essential for belief. All right? It's possible. You just got to believe it. And so that's going to be the conversation tomorrow on how to develop faith. But I want to come on here because this is something I'm really passionate about, right? I do want to change my financial situation, and it all starts up here with your mind and the way that you think, right? It's called Think and Grow Rich for a reason, and so I'm going to be explaining that more. So thank you all for tuning into this live. I will catch you tomorrow at the same time, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.